Good afternoon and welcome to Feed Yourself Well. Today's recipe is a lemon herb crusted rack of lamb. This is super easy to do. It's one of my go-to recipes. If you don't have a lot of time to fix a nice fancy meal but you want it to be really nice, this is the one to do. You can start the marinade process the night before or a minimum of 2 hours in the marinade. It's going to take about 2 hours for that flavor really to permeate. And then you're going to roast it in a hot oven. So let's get started with the marinade before we go to this lovely French rack of lamb. We call it French because the bones have been clean and exposed. All that connective tissue has been removed, and it's going to roast up real nice and the bones will look nice on the plate. All right, off to the marinade. Okay, so I've got just a regular zip bag here that I'm going to add the rack of lamb right in. And it'll fit. You can put 2 racks in here if you have to. Go ahead and, maximize the bag, but you can put 2 in here if you want to. All right, so now I got the lamb in. To this, I'm going to pour my marinade right in. Come on, don't splash. There we go. And I'll use a spatula just to scrape it down. I don't want to leave any behind. So right in the bag that goes. This is a good marinade for chicken, beef. You can use it on just about anything. Shrimp, if you're doing grilled shrimp. This is a really good one for grilled shrimp. All right, and you can spice it up. Add a little cayenne pepper flakes if you want a little more heat to it. But this is just a real good, almost Mediterranean style marinade with lots of flavor. So now, just zip the bag shut. Let's get that closed up. Come on, zip. There we go. And then you just massage in all that marinade. Right over the lamb. Get the bones, get the backside. You're going to get all that marinade nice and coated over the rack of lamb. Now, this goes in the refrigerator for about 2 hours at a minimum. It can go up to 24 though. You can leave this overnight if you want. It's just going to permeate and have more flavor. But one thing you want to do is that when you take it out of the refrigerator, allow it to come to room temperature. Don't throw it in the oven ice cold. Let it come up to temperature and it's going to cook more evenly once it hits that hot oven. Now for the oven temperature for this one, start hot. 15 minutes at about 400 degrees, then back it down to about 350 for another 20 or 30. So if you want to cook it to temper with a thermometer, you need to be a minimum of 146 to 150 degrees internally. You want to use your thermometer and go inside and get a good temperature. If you like it a little more done, go to about 160, but I would stop it there and let it carry over cook for about 15 minutes out of the oven and the temperature is going to go up. You want it to be anywhere from a medium rare to a medium, somewhere in there. It can be a little blush when you cut it open. It doesn't have to be cooked all the way through. It actually tastes much better if it's medium. Okay, so we'll get this in the oven and be right back. All right, so in this mini chopper or small food processor, I'm going to add 6 cloves of garlic. That's going to be the first ingredient in our marinade. Then to that, I've got about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of rosemary leaves and thyme leaves. You want to pluck them off the branches. You don't want the branch or the woody part. You just want the leaves to go in. I've zested 2 lemons. So this is lemon zest right off the lemon. It's going to add that brightness to it. That gives it a really good flavor. Okay, so we got lemon zest in. Next, I'm going to add about a teaspoon or so of salt and pepper blend. It's just salt and pepper mixed together. And last, enough olive oil to really pull it all together. So it's not quite a paste, a little thinner than a paste, but you don't want it so runny that it's just going to swim around in the marinade. Okay, so here we go. Olive oil in. And I'm put the top on and we'll give it a go. Okay, so we got a nice puree. Our next step is to get this guy out of here, put it in the zip bag with the rack of lamb. Lemon herb crusted lamb rack is out of the oven. It's been resting, so a lot of that carryover cooking has happened. I did temp it. It was right about 150 degrees, so it should slice up really nicely. And what you want to do is when you stand your rack up, your knife will go right through the bone. Oh, that's perfect temperature. That's what we want. It's just blush, but fully cooked. And I'm going to plate it up. So our plate tonight, we've got a yellow saffron rice. We've got lentils with a hint of curry in it. So real nice tasting lentils. And then we did some butter braised Brussels sprouts. All three of these recipes I'm going to share. So go to IG at feed.yourself.well or Facebook at feed.yourself.well. I'm sorry, feed.yourself.well on Facebook and Instagram to get these three recipes. Now, we're just going to place the lamb right on top. So we have a nice presentation. And that is tonight's dish. Remember, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and always feed yourself well.